Hello and welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast, the no bullshit podcast for the outdoor enthusiasts. If you're into hunting, fishing, fine wines and even finer foods, you've come to the right place. So pull up a chair. Hello and welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast. On this week's episode number 67, we have UK hunting sensation Sarah Miles on. Sarah Miles is going to give us a bit of an insight into her life, how she got started, what it's like being a female in this otherwise male-dominated sport or industry. As ever, we will give you a roundup of news and events from around the country, and we'll also be talking about my recent Sika hunting trip and a bit of pike fishing with the Bowl Grogan. Hope you all enjoy. Anthony Grogan, how are you going on, horse?
What's happened, lad?
I sure look at fucking loads, lad. Any old crack?
No, devil a bit.
We had our first bit of technical difficulties there now for the first while in a good while.
Yeah, and we're nearly going to throw it out the window, which reminded me of the good old days.
The good old days, lad. Honest to God, we haven't fucked it out the window yet now, as much as we fucking wanted to on several occasions.
Look, it's going all right.
She's motoring away. Any old crack. We finally went and done it, lad. We got out for a deer together, the two of us.
Honest to God.
Which was rare, but it was wonderful.
Yeah, and we should do it more often, as they say.
Absolutely, yeah. Jeez, it was great, so it was, yeah. That is probably the... It's only about the second or third time of the whole year I'd say we go out together.
It's not for the want of fucking asking, but
I know, but you're off busy with your own other friends now. You know what I mean?
You're always more than welcome, always more than invited.
No time for little people anymore. Yeah. No, with a good old day shooting and that, so we're going to talk more about that in a little while. Obviously, we have Sarah Miles coming on there to give us a bit of a chat. Very
Looking
interesting.
Forward to this one.
Yeah. Very interesting. Girl will be a great advocate for the sport and all that sort of crack. But we'll start as ever with club news, man. What's been going on?
What's been going on in my club? Incubator's full. We've 135 eggs in one incubator. We have 35 or 40 in another one. So that's rolling on. They should be hatching out over the next 2 weeks now. Mm-hmm. So that's in full spring. We've ordered 70 other poults then from Ed McAvoy. So Ed is going to, I think the last week in June, first week in July, I think we're good to go. Mm-hmm. So there's that. New pen, we've all the posts up. We've the cross beams up. So I think we're going at that again this weekend now, trying to start wrapping it with mesh. So that's coming on really well and really quick. We had a couple of hens. We've determined that one of the cocks didn't like some of the hens. They were being a bit rough, so
right.
We actually just we whittled down our cocks now. So it's actually a white one. That was doing a little bit of damage. Mm-hmm. He was hammering them.
Go away.
Yeah, literally. So we lost two hens, but really great to see. I was out around the club the other day and actually seen a couple of hens moving and a few cocks, believe it or not. So it's always brilliant because that means what we're doing is starting to work and starting to make a difference. So looking forward to it. We should have good numbers this year, you know. So that's probably if. And the hens, it's early days yet. Like this is only our first hatch, so we're hoping to get a second hatch, and we have a few golden tops then, who we're waiting for them to start clucking, and we're going to throw a few batches underneath them as well.
Nice,
so a couple of different variations.
Yeah.
Brought in poults, we've incubator chicks, and then we'll have kind of hen reared chicks as well. So. A good combination.
So are you getting any rare birds this year, fully reared?
We probably will still get a few. Our original plan was that our breeding program will be the bonus. Mm-hmm. So we're going to stick to what we normally get. Mm-hmm. We've got 70 poults, between 60 and 70 poults, and 100 reared.
Very good, man.
And then if we get 100, 150 out here. We'll try and get close to that 300 mark.
That's some going. Jeez, that's some going, man. Yeah. Jeez, happy days. All things considered, that's a fair move from the first time before you took over reins.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's only, 6-7 years ago we were buying 50.
Yeah, maybe
rare
it'd be
cocks,
that 50 rare cocks, yeah, which doesn't go too far between.
No.
What many's in your club?
There's now numbers have upped, so we've 2 new members, obviously. So we've 18, I think, or 19.
Yeah.
18 or 19. I should know that figure, but it's 18 or 19. And then we've owl boxes going up. We're trapping away like mad. Trapping's going brilliant, actually. We put a kind of quota on each lad had to provide. So I just sent a little reminder as I was handing over all my tails and wings. I think I don't know how many. I've maybe 40, 50 wings pairs, and I've easily 15, 16 foxes.
Yeah.
And we put a minimum requirement on that. So I'm going to start turning my attention to mink now, because I like to it keeps you interested. And it's difficult to get. It's mundane enough to trapping. But there was a big rush actually the other day on when I put up with the group. Nolly said there was lads ringing. Do you have a trap there? So, because the meeting's coming up, membership is coming up, you know what I mean? So, and nobody wants to be the one that doesn't bring the wings. So,
well, that's good anyway, yeah.
I'm going to Newtown School tomorrow, bringing some of our fertilised eggs to their little incubator. And then I have an incubator, a new incubator and brooding kit for Termota National School with some eggs as well. So, that'll be 2 schools on top of our own, with hopefully 2 dozen eggs, and that'll be a bit of interest for the kids as well,
Brilliant stuff.
That's the gig there.
That's deadly, man. Yeah, fair fucking play to you.
Plus, if anyone's listening locally, I'm trying to get schools for the art competition. I've sent out a few emails to local schools. I haven't had a response yet. So there's an art competition run by the NARGC, with prizes for the kids, and then they can go on to win, I suppose, county level, and then national level. There's I think there's €300 first prize for the winning art picture. We give a little talk. I've actually done a little brochure for pheasants. Give a little talk about them, fun facts and stuff like that. Brilliant. Stuff that people don't know, or may not know, but definitely the kids would be interested in. And then they paint a picture of some sort of wildlife, and the West one goes on. So I think I've one school already, but I've been given a kind of a fund of €600 to spend on local Kildare schools. So hit me up. I want local schools in Kildare that are interested, that we can get them a little few goodies for the school, bird feeders, stuff like that, to help them bring up their green flag. So, looking for schools to get involved.
Very good. You heard it here first, yeah. Hopefully that'll be a good little initiative for people to get behind. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure, man. Sounds like a plan.
What is happening in yours?
We had our meeting since we had our last podcast, so we had that last Thursday night, I think it was, last Thursday night, Thursday week. Can't remember. Yeah, it was before we had the last podcast thing anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, so that went well. We sorted out a good bit of stuff, so we've 150 poles ordered. Depending on what way funds are then towards the end of the season, we may have enough to get some rare birds as well. For the first year, we have our pen location nailed down. We have all our blue barrel feeders nailed down. We have our membership costs sorted. We have our final membership number at 23, which is big club for a first year. Yeah, everyone's fairly proactive. We'd a lot of lads, at the meetings and stuff like that. Now, when I say a final number, it's at 23 now. Membership has to be paid in the next 3 weeks. That'll whittle down a few lads. Not how bad, but some lads just once, and then that's always the way it works. You know what I mean? And then you'll know the lads probably that are really kind of sort of hell bent on it, So. Yeah, so we've that done. The account will be set up. We have set up a credit union account that'll be done this week. There's 2 lads, kind of Brian and the Big Mac, they're going to look after that. So the meeting was good to kind of delegate it out a few jobs to a few people. One lad priced up signs, another lad's going to make a couple of signs. Little bit, just stuff that takes the pressure off me a bit, you know. And I just kind of said, look at, the way I said it was, look at lads. I know, you know, lads are in here. You all have, you know, missus, and you have kids that play sport, and you have work full-time jobs, and this, that, and the other. Says, but so do I. You know what I mean? And I says, I'd love to be able to do it, but I can't. And if it's left to me, I won't be able to do it. I just won't, you know. So look, that being said, there's a couple of jobs here and lads put up their hand and took them on board. So yeah, that's a grand job. That takes a bit of pressure off. The only thing we're waiting for at the minute was Kildare NARGC had their meeting on the Thursday night.
Yeah. And
I haven't heard back whether it was to go to vote, I think, or whatever. So
okay,
I don't know. I haven't heard back from them what the story is there, so we'll just wait and see. If it gets to go ahead, great. If it doesn't, we'll just get the insurance with.
Well, I fully voted it down anyway.
Yeah. Don't let them shower.
You have to try and keep the bit of culture.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no bother, lad. Yeah,
you're on the Offaly border here, lad. You could be, do you know what I mean?
We know agriculture. All you know is fucking Ferns, Heather, and High Bogure.
There's no plenty of shite, all right.
All the good lads around here, lad. But yeah, so that's all. I don't know. I don't actually know what the story is there. So that's it, man. Membership will be going in the next 3 weeks. Then we can start getting our materials for our pens. We've got a few lads put up their hand. One lad in particular, like, he's like, you know, yeah, I've posted, and yeah, no, wire, I have that, and you know, fucking brilliant, man, you know. Oh, excuse me. Just takes the pressure off.
What was that?
A bit of a yawn, man.
A bit of a yawn. he sends you a message, right? I'm going to play a message one of these days. He sends you a message and he starts to yawn. It's like fucking Yogi Bear coming out of a cave, man.
Tired, man. Fucked. So yeah, no, that's where everyone's at with that, man. So busy, a lot done, a lot more to do. But look at it, you have the show on the road now, which is the big thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, Kildare get
their fucking finger out.
Yeah.
Fuck. Talk about some work done, a lot more to do. Yes. You'll get there. You
might wish you were on the Mead border.
Yeah, honest to God, yeah. Sure, that's the way it goes. And your old cracker scandal since we talked to you last.
What was going on?
You're getting a lot of hate, man.
Where's that?
You're getting a bit of hate online.
Are we?
Well, I don't know. You were saying something earlier on about you.
Oh, just about one of our old Fox things. Actually, not one of ours. Somebody else took the video, but a fox stealing a lamb, and I put up, and it's taken off there. Like, just, I don't know, loads of people have been sharing it, and then obviously that's invited some sane people.
Yeah,
and you know, not that I have anything against people who are not of sound mind, but there's quite a few. Come on now, you know. So, but it's cool. Like I was saying to one of the lads, because you know, there's nothing like an eye of a vegan, you know, but. Do you know what I mean? When you've nothing else to do, you want to have, you know what I'm saying?
You love it, man.
I do.
You do love it. You're good at it.
They probably think, you know what I mean, that they're getting, and in no shape or form.
No, not at all. No.
I like that. You know, the Duracell bunny. I keep going.
You won't win. That's just not going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
But no, but it's actually interesting to see the level of madness, you know, like one of the points I probably think, like, you know, where one I was trying to make, like, this is wildlife taking a domesticated animal, you know, and how dare you, and like it's people like you with the mindset, all this kind of stuff is, you know, and I tried to point out, right, man, you are sitting on a mobile phone powered by energy and electricity. do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
The culmination of which, like, you've contributed to the loss of the, and if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you've actually contributed more to the loss of habitat.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. Yeah,
and I tried to make it eloquently, and then I just go down the little rabbit hole, just annoying him. So I told him, I thanked him for the fine publicity he's after giving the page, because like our followers gone ballistic there, and he didn't see the joke in that either. And then I said to him,
I wonder why.
You work for me now, bitch. You know, and I don't even have to pay.
Jeez.
Like, get back to work.
Yeah.
Dance for me, baby.
That is
Sure,
gold.
look at,
That's gold.
and he started. Oh, you must have done really well in school. No, I didn't, man. I barely have a leaving cert, you know. But you're on my page.
Yeah, exactly. But here you are. It's mad, isn't it?
Who the fool now, baby?
It is mad. And fair play to you, man. You are doing. We spoke about it earlier. You're doing a super job.
Look,
social media, you know what I mean?
It's kind of getting a little bit easier now. Obviously, when we started this thing, man, we were two lads in the middle of Bradford shouting into a microphone here, not really know what we're doing. And then I suppose, like, over the last couple of months, especially there, people have heard about us, and so it gets a little bit easier, you know.
Yep.
And look, all we're trying to do is have a bit of a shy talk, bit of a laugh, as you know, and a little bit of education along the way for those. Funny enough, I've had a good few people say to me personally now, that through the podcast open up. Obviously, there's things that people will not be interested in doing, like they, won't shoot foxes. Grant, no, we're not telling everyone to shoot foxes. You know, we're doing our bit for our own reasons, so on and so forth, and that's cool. But I think what's happened is there's been a little bit of education on both sides. You know,
You
know, they learn to know that we're right, and they learn to know that they're wrong.
Yeah,
I know. I'm only joking. But like, we learn to live together in harmony. You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll go that far. But people are always going to hate. Come here. We're going to go on and do a little bit of news, but I just do want to mention briefly, and I keep forgetting to say this. We've had probably 10 or more companies at this stage reaching out to us about the Let's Talk gear and wanting us to test bits and pieces for them and the whole lot. And we have responded to some. We probably haven't responded to enough of them. It's not that we're not doing it at the minute, just it's so busy and we don't want to take in something, have for 2 weeks and not get a chance to properly test it. So Let's Talk gear is coming back, and we will get in contact with the various. We've had loads of different from every breed of them. I can't even remember half of them in a minute, but we will get back to you, and we're not being rude.
And especially the Paw Paw company from China. We want to, man. Did you see that one? Yeah, where there's like puppy collars.
No.
Yeah, they want us to test puppy collars. No, I don't know, man.
Is this like, is it like one of those weird fetishes?
I don't know, man.
You do know.
Well, look,
I'm
man.
pretty sure you do.
I'm pretty sure the algorithm that's firmly on your fucking side. You know what I'm saying?
How is it? I don't even be on any social media stuff.
They must know, man. Do you know what I mean?
Just don't know, man. I don't want to have to wear a git mask. But if I will, if it benefits science, I will.
Yeah, man. I think that's science in fucking reverse. Now let's do the news. Man.
Okay, let's do the news. Right, we're going to crack on with the news here. Here we go. And now for a roundup of what's going on around the country. It's the IHP news. Anthony Grogan, kick us off, man. What's going on?
Right, first off, we gave this a little shout out before, but we wanted to give another little plug because it's right here beside us. But Roscommon Regional Game Council, Roscommon's not beside us, but invite you to participate in a shooting accuracy practical in Saturday, the 27th of April, in Beliver Shooting Grounds, County Meath. Runs 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Transport plus food free. €20 cover charge for clays. Open to all RRGC members and special invited guests. Booking essential. So if you go on to Facebook, have a look at Roscommon Regional Game Council Facebook page, you'll find all the details there. And I'm sure if you contacted Beliver Shooting Grounds, they give you the relevant details.
Absolutely.
As well.
On the Rossies. Next one is the Meath Regional Game Council clay target shooting, and it's just a little note there. It's just a reminder, our first shoot is this coming Saturday, 13th. Sorry?
That was last Saturday. Just skipped it a little.
That last Saturday, was it?
Yeah, so the little...
last Saturday, 13th. Okay. We're back, baby. Okay.
There's a rescheduled one.
There's a rescheduled date. Okay. The rescheduled date. I swore I wrote this before. Or read it. Oh, jeez.
See, I told you, man.
It's getting worse. The rescheduled date for Batterstown CBC will take place on Saturday the 4th of May. Don't know why was that postponed? Just the weather, I suppose.
I'd say it was the weather. Remember the wind back in the...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah. So that's a good. That's on Meath Regional Game Council clay target shooting. I didn't even know they had a Facebook page.
There you go.
There you go. absolutely.
The next one is the Rockview Harriers annual Working Terrier, Hound, Lurcher, Whippet and Pet Show. This is Sunday, May the 5th. It's great prizes for all classes, including €100 cash for each ring champion. And if you go on to Johnny Dicker's page there on, that is right, isn't it? No, on so if Hunting Area has the post up there. So I think that's the Paul Christie's page, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
So
Johnny
Dicker is on there, and all details are there. But it's Sunday, May the 5th, and you'll find all the details on the page.
Daily. Next, North Tipperary Working Dog Club. I don't see the heading there, but I think that's what it is. It's the Working Test 2024. The committee are looking forward to running our Feedwell Dog Food sponsored Working Test on this coming Sunday, April 21st, which is this Sunday.
Yeah.
In the woodland on Kilcooley Abbey Estate by kind permission of the landowner and shooting syndicate. So 34 dogs and a couple of judges. Entries will also be taken on the day. So anyone who might be interested in getting involved in the sport, please feel free to come along, as this is a good starting point to see standard of dogs and also meet other handlers. Savage job, man.
Ivan has contacted us. He's invited us both down. I can't make it this Sunday. I have the 21st, and I think you're
Mondello. Yeah, we'll be Mondello this Sunday. Yeah.
So we couldn't make it down, but I would recommend anyone with even an interest in dog work, and you mightn't even have an interest in going competitively. You might just want to see what these. You will not be disappointed. It's phenomenal what some of these dogs do.
Yeah.
And you'll meet a great group of people. So utterly endorse that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Next one.
Yeah. Here's another one now. We look. You couldn't but endorse this. This is Smoke and Soul. Unleash your inner pitmaster with Smoke and Soul's interactive barbecue masterclass at Grillfest. Bank holiday Monday the 6th between 12 and 4 p.m. It's the outdoorliving.ie, Glen of the Downs, Wicklow. The two boys there in the picture.
My God.
Two absolute wizards.
Legends.
Around the barbecue. So legends, lads. So
there's a miracle of science in the two of them, Jonah. They should be about 25 stone each, the two of them boys. How can cooking all that food, man, having access to all that stuff and staying in the impeccable shape that these two boys are in?
I'm telling you now.
Is unreal.
I'm telling you.
My God.
Meat. Evolution, baby.
Yeah. Honest to God, man, Mount Water, that'd be a class one to go out.
I think both of us are smacking our lips there because I can... Anyway.
You can taste it. Absolutely. Next one, Federation of County Cork Gun Clubs. And this is the county qualifier and open clay shoot, hosted by Dunmanway Clay Target Club. You've got €100 prize for high guns in the open shoot. What's on? 50 bird over 8 stands and novelty stand. It is this Sunday again, 21st of April, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. sharp. Venue is Dunmanway Clay Shooting Ground, and you'll get the air code and all that stuff there on the Federation of County Cork Gun Clubs. And you have a contact there who is Wayne Morrison. So that's a good little one to be on this weekend as well for anyone down that neck of the woods.
Plenty happening.
Great to see it. Keeps the whole thing ticking over there, as the fella says,
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, man. What do you think of my new phone?
I can hear it. Yeah.
iPhone 13, man.
Oh, sure. Look at
hard to beat with a big stick. Tell you one thing. Come here. Will we bring Sarah on?
Sorry, is there?
Yeah.
Is there a camera on that thing? There is.
There's. Oh.
Let's bring Sarah on.
Oh, bring Sarah on. Jesus Christ, mate. Here we go. Sarah Miles, welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast. How are you keeping?
Hi, Sarah.
Yes, good, thank you. Nice to meet you both. Finally,
we've been following your progress and your career with a bit of envy, I suppose, over the past while. You get to seem to do a good bit of cool stuff, going to hunting shows and different hunting trips and stuff. So we're a bit envious of you.
Yeah, trying to do as much as I can.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
Sarah, I'd say that we probably feel like we know you, even though we don't. I think we've both follow each other on social media, and I think yourself and Brennan are intertwined in the Highland Outdoors crew.
Mm-hmm.
But welcome along, first and foremost. Come here, tell us about yourself. How and why and where did you get started?
Yeah.
Okay, where did it all begin? So believe it or not, when I was younger, I hated shooting. I was real anti-shooting. My dad was a gamekeeper, did a lot of shooting. I thought it was disgusting.
Hmm.
I hated it. I couldn't believe how cruel he was, killing little bunny rabbits. um,
How the tables
but
get
What about
turned.
the Easter Bunny?
Peter Rabbit is no longer.
Yeah.
Um, but it was one of those things like he didn't really rub it in my face and force it upon me, but he wasn't going to stop doing it. You know, he wasn't going to change his way of life just to please me. And I guess it's kind of surprising because as a child, I was quite a tomboy. I grew up with two brothers. Um, so, you know, I wasn't a girly girl, but I just really didn't like shooting. I used to start crying and I used to say to dad, I'm never talking to you again.
Yeah.
But then I just gradually, you know, got into it and got less upset about it, I guess. Started doing a bit of air rifle shooting in the back garden. Then I'd go out with dad and do a bit of rabbit shooting and things like that. Going forward, I think how I really got stuck into it was I started going and doing a bit of beating on shoots, on pheasant shoots.
Yep.
And then I thought, I need a dog. Everyone's got a dog. So I went and got my first spaniel. I don't know why on earth I picked a spaniel for the first ever dog to get.
Best dog there is, some would say, but
Crazy dog, yeah. Crazy dog for a crazy idea.
yeah.
And started doing a bit of picking up, but I was still like, I wouldn't touch dead birds unless I had gloves on at that point. I had to have gloves on. And if they were pricked, I couldn't dispatch them. I had to radio dad and say, help, help.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And then it just kind of went on from there. Started going out doing a bit of rifle shooting, foxing, things like that. Managed to, I sort of worked in gun dogs, got a job doing a bit of gun dog work for somebody. And then I managed to bag myself a job at a local gun shop called Rifleman Firearms.
Okay.
I had not really much knowledge at all. I kind of just went in with a freshly baked cake and said, please, can I have a job?
It's a good way of actually getting employment. I never tried that. Yeah, that's a good one.
It worked.
Brilliant.
So I got a job there and I kind of just learned on the job. You know, I really didn't have a clue about guns, or, you know, someone would want to buy a gun and I was just like, oh, I haven't got a clue. But I've been there sort of years now, really. And then just I did quite a bit of shotgun shooting, actually. I used to do some competition clay shooting, things like that. But then I just got into the deer stalking, and that's my thing now, is the deer stalking. It's the one thing that I really love above everything else. It just, it's sort of taking over. The shotgun is collecting dust in the cabinet and doesn't come out very often anymore.
It's funny that we've mentioned that a few times about deer stalking. Like probably our story will be similar to yours in ways. Like we started off with maybe smaller rifles and shotguns, and you know, down to pheasant shooting and rabbits and stuff, and progressed to the deer, and now we've gone to the deer. Like it's
it's a rabbit hole when you go down it. You can't.
Yeah.
Come back out. I don't think
everyone else is kind of secondary after that. You know, it's the deer hunting.
Yeah, you just can't imagine it any other way, can you?
No, definitely not. No.
You mentioned there, Sarah, just going back to your dad, you know, I think you just alluded to it there, where you said, you know, he never really forced it upon you. And I think that's an important, point to make in this day and age, where, you know, as you can probably see in some of our recent posts, things get rammed down people's throats. This is the way. This is the only way.
Yeah.
Hunters I know. Or we know, I think we're in the collective here, but don't necessarily do that. And funny enough, you've probably found your own way now through not being forced any particular way, you know. So, and that's I think a valuable what would you say lesson for people who are trying to ram things down people's necks. That won't go in. You'll meet resistance there, and you've come around to what I believe is a good way of thinking, by your own, by figuring your own path, you know, which is the best.
Yeah, I think it's like any sport though, isn't it? Like if you've got children and you love football, you can't expect that they're going to love football and say, you've got to go to football club, you've got to love football. Everyone's got their own. You can't force something upon anyone. You've just got to, like we've got children, they're around us, they're around shooting. The eldest has just started coming out. He's had a couple of deer now, and he enjoys it.
Yeah.
It's not to say, I hope the next, the younger two will when it's their turn, but equally, if it's not what they want to do, we'll carry on doing it, but you can't force them to love it. You either love it or you don't. It's just, it's a hobby, isn't it? And it's,
that's proper.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of, raising kids. I'm a firm believer that if you try and force it down their neck, all you're going to do is turn them off. At the end of the day, that's all that's going to happen. But if you kind of just bring them out, introduce them, teach them right and wrong ways to do it, and just naturally let it happen, I think that'll be the way to go.
Yeah, and I think it's the same with everything. I think it happens better if you naturally let it do rather than push. You've got to do it this way. It's they get bored of it and they get sick of it and they think, oh, I'm fed up of hearing about this now.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just drive them away from it. Yeah.
Just on that side, do you hunt for meat, or do you hunt, for I hate trophy is not the word, but you hunt for the love of the game, or do you is it a full process for you from, your what would you say, your exercise, your food, your lifestyle all wrapped up into one, or is it just one of them elements?
No, for me, it's got to be for food. Obviously, trophy, I think there is always that you want to get yourself a nice red stag or a nice roebuck, but equally I would never shoot it if I didn't have a source for it. I'm never going to shoot stuff and just leave it in the field and go, actually we've got a freezer full, I don't need it. I don't see a need for that. It's completely pointless. Deer need to be managed, they need to be controlled, but it has to be within our means as well. We have venison in our freezer, we sell to game dealers and other things like that. But if we had nowhere to source it to, be it ourselves or somebody else, I wouldn't shoot them because I would never see something go to waste. Why, take an animal and just leave it in a field for no reason?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it too.
It's an interesting point because I think what you said there is, I think outside looking in, a lot of people see us as that, where they see us as just, what would you say, blood sport, or hunting just for the, the thrill of it and the fun. And we'd be very open here. There's nothing more exhilarating than when you put up the scope and you're looking down at a stag or whatever you're shooting. There is obviously there's an anxiousness and excitement and what would you say?
Adrenaline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there is that bit, but there's also as you rightly said there, it's full circle. I don't know of any. I've heard of it happen, but I think it's very, very,
very
rare.
Somebody would shoot.
I think you've got two ends of the spectrum, haven't you? You've got people like us that you do it to manage it and to eat it. Like you say, full circle. But then you do have people that literally, dare I say it, have possibly got a lot of money and they are trophy hunters and they travel all around the world to shoot and just get a trophy. And equally that's fine, because I suppose you've got to look at it that whoever they're shooting with, say you came to me and said, I just want a trophy. Again, I would still only let you shoot that if I had a source for it. So the people that they're shooting with to get these trophies have still got an outlet to get rid of that meat or to eat it themselves. So you hope it doesn't go to waste. But there are people out there that do just do it for trophies. And again, as long as you hope there is still a source, I guess it is kind of okay.
Yeah, and just on that, we spoke to a guy when we were over in Hungary, when we were actually in the airport. Remember the guy from where was he from? Sweden, yeah. And he goes over to Africa and there's a lot of trophy hunting. Let's call it trophy, which is what it is. But he was kind of giving us a bit of a look. But like the fees that he's charged for hunting his trophy, support a village, all the meat is used, so he's getting feed a family, and in doing so, they can use that money to actually help conservation. They can full circle. Do you know what I mean? Like people might look at it as if, geez, killing that, but right, like that one could save 6 and keep a whole village going. So people don't talk about that end, but I suppose they love bad news. That's what.
Yeah, and like you said, I think they see us as bloodthirsty and we just do it for a laugh or for fun. But I personally still have emotion in the sport. My key point every time I go out to shoot something is to make sure it's done properly, humanely, and efficiently. I don't ever want it to go wrong. I'd be lying if I said it didn't go wrong. I think we'd all be lying if we said, oh, we've never messed up. I've always had a perfect shot. It doesn't happen. It's life, it's nature, there's lots of things that come into it. And when, if it has gone wrong for me, I remember a time back along it went wrong for me, and I actually ended up in tears because I felt guilty. That animal did suffer for a few, a minute until I got a better shot on it, and I felt awful about it. That's not how I planned it to go. That's not how any hunter, I think, wants it to go.
Yeah,
there's definitely 100 people on our Facebook page that never, ever, ever miss.
Yeah, we all our friends. They're class.
Absolutely,
Never.
Sock shots. Yeah, that's me. I never miss anything. I'm absolutely perfect.
Unfortunately, we're like mere mortals like yourselves. There, we have.
Unfortunately,
absolutely, everyone has.
Yeah.
Anyone who hasn't is absolutely like 100%. There's no. Nobody can get lucky 100% of the time. So,
I remember going out once actually after Fox. It was a good few years ago, and I clipped him with I had a 22 Hornet at the time, and I clipped the back of him, and I knew he ran, and I knew enough to know the pace he went. He was injured, but not. He wasn't going to go to the hedge and expired, And I remember, man, did that play on my mind? Like, gee, I remember going home, going, sounds peculiar now, but I do literally remember going home. I used to go a bit younger, lying in bed and going, like, he's probably out there now, in pain, and I don't know what, how long it's going to last for, or I just was the most horrendous. I felt absolutely fucking dreadful. You know what I mean? Now I go out now, I still
and it's not why you do it.
No, definitely not. No, Jesus, no, definitely not. No,
the ultimate aim, I suppose, is to clean, efficient, perfect shot every time. So, but like even when we're starting, all of us started from the one position. We all had that flinchy trigger finger on the first pull, and that goes for everyone across the board. So, and like that, I can remember the first time ever pulling the trigger, and I think everything from my toe to my finger was shaking. No matter how many times you do it, you still get that rush. Obviously, you can control it better the longer you go on, and so on and so forth. But I think it's a very good point to make. We don't get enjoyment from the suffering of animals. No, it couldn't be further from the truth. So
and I think you can practice and practice and practice in a range on a target. You could practice for years before you went out to do your first stalk or something, but it still, I just don't believe it prepares you. Do you know what I mean? Like you can be amazing on a range and get a really tight group and have your breathing together, but it's such a different scenario when you're out in the field. You've got wind, you've got rain, you've got this, you've got that, you've got stuff in the way, and equally you have that rush, that adrenaline, that panic. Am I going to do it right? Personally, there's nothing you can do about that. So you kind of do have to learn on the job a little bit, and you have to do more of it to learn from your mistakes. And I mean, for me, the worst ones are when you clean miss them and they're really close. I mean, I had one recently, and oh my God, I could have thrown the gun at it and hit it, but I still missed it. And you just think, how on earth can you possibly?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's that is you were the same.
I've hit worldies the last 2 weeks, and I could have literally took the bullet out and gone. I know. Threw it out of 10.
this lad shot, and you're not going to. Well, you probably would eventually allude to it, but I'm going to fucking. This lad shot a fox the other night at well over 400 meters, like well over 400 meters, like an unbelievable. You were showing me where it was, and then you zoomed out the camera, and I was like, "That's in a different fucking county." I mean, what? 60 yards.
Actually, I'm going to take a picture of where I missed the fox.
Yeah.
The other night. But anyway, look, and that's the
way it goes, isn't it?
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But you were saying as well, sir. I think that ironically, if you were bloodthirsty and you were callous and you were cold-hearted, you wouldn't get them shakes when a live animal pops into the skull. That's the ironic thing about it.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's in the back of all our mind. Am I going to
Yeah.
Am I going to dispatch this animal quickly, efficiently, all
Absolutely.
that type of thing. So
we were out the other day. We went out after a Sika the other day, and we're going to talk about it in the podcast a little bit later. But like it was my first deer to shoot in a while, because I haven't been out and just been busy and stuff. And
Yeah.
like I was looking at it through the crosshairs, and it was a Sika. Like it was a Sika deer. That's what it was. But I still had to kind of, take my eye off and look at him again. Like, no, it is a deer, isn't it? No, it's that. I knew 100% it was a deer. Like, but you automatically do that. No, it's a deer. You have to stop and go, yeah, no, it is. It's definitely a deer. It's not fucking camel. You know what I mean? But realistically, what else could it be? But
I was going to say, how many good camels have you got roaming around your way?
Exactly. Yeah. You still you're that bit apprehensive. But you're right in what you're saying. You could get the best shots ever in any gun range anywhere with any rifle. But yeah, when you're out and it's a live animal and you're going to end that animal's life, that's a huge thing. That is for me anyway. You go, ooh, don't fuck this up,
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Untethered and Wanderwise, where adventure has no age limit. We're your co-host, Heidi Brandis and Nikki Mahundro, and we're here to inspire and celebrate women over 45 who are embracing their independence and want to explore the world on their own terms.
And obviously, when it goes wrong, it's not my fault. It's always the gun or the bullets or the scope or the equipment. Like, it is never me.
No, exactly. Yeah. I've been there this year. I've been there.
I instantly go, there's something wrong with this gun. It's blooming rubbish. And then I put it on target and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's bang on it. Nothing to do with the gun.
Yeah, dodgy bullet then. Dodgy bullet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you do also, I noticed a good bit of fox shooting, Sarah.
Sorry, say that again?
You do a good bit of fox shooting as well?
Yeah, so I find it's hard to fit it all in at once, because like I said before, it's life, it's work gets in the way, and you've got your different deer seasons, and then you've got your foxes and things. It's kind of hard to fit it all in. So I felt like I had a bit of a break from fox shooting a couple of months back. I hadn't been out, but I'm back out on the foxes now. I've got a new piece of ground actually. That's not been shot before. They've not really had any shooters there for many, many years. And this guy's got a small holding and he's having one night he had about 60 chickens and ducks taken in the night.
Jesus.
So been out there the first night, had 2 on the first night, back out again the other night and had another 2. And even after just the first 2, he noticed a massive difference. He was like, there's no foxes, like nothing's getting killed. It's, I think they get wise, don't you? Although there could be 10 or 15 foxes there, it only needs that 1 or 2 that know the way in and know what they're after to do, that amount of damage.
Yeah. I just on that question, and one of the reasons we're so anxious to talk to you because you're obviously a female in what will be a very much, well, especially over here, it would seem to be a male dominated kind of sport or industry, and we'll say we hate calling it a sport, but what's it like over there? Like, I suppose, is there many females doing it? And like, when you go to a farmer, you're obviously a young woman.
Yeah.
You ask the question, do you ask, for permission? Do they kind of look on? Yes, what wasn't expected. do you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah. Yes and no. Some don't seem to bat an eyelid. Others are like, okay, like you shoot, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know how to explain it. Like, should there be a type of look of a female that does it? I don't know, because people look at me and go, oh, but you've got nice nails and you like do your hair, like, so you can't possibly shoot. And it's like, just because I shoot doesn't mean that
some sort of cave.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should I just cut all my hair off and not shower for weeks? Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, to be honest, over here there are so many women coming into it now. There really are. There's lots of different ladies groups. There's specific ladies pheasant days, clay days, and things like that. And I'm kind of I was chatting to somebody the other day. I'm in a bit of 2 minds about it, if I'm honest, because I think it's fantastic that women are coming into the sport. I really do, because it can be quite daunting. They don't really know where to start. And I think these women's only groups sort of give them that push and that encouragement to do it. Is a little bit less daunting.
Yeah.
But then the flip side of it, I look at and I think it's no different to any other sport.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have Do you go to the gym and have women's only gyms? Do you have women's only tennis? I don't know. Why should it be we need to create a women's only group because it's shooting?
Yeah.
It's like any sport. It's like football. It's like rugby. It's like anything. There's men and women in it. It doesn't really matter. So why are we so concerned about creating women only groups for shooting when it's like no other sport? Everybody's equal.
Mm-hmm.
Some are good, some are bad, some men are good, some men are bad at a sport. It's just there just seems to be this stigma around it.
Yeah, I would have never thought. Like that's a fascinating insight because I would have never thought that there was women only group. I find it almost strange, that there's
you're kind of setting up yourself to be secluded
or separate.
Yeah, surrogate.
Yeah, and it's kind of then sexist towards men. Like, sorry, you can't come in our group. It's
yeah.
And ironically, you're probably going to need the input of men because of the vast numbers of men that are, so for the good
I was wondering where you were going with this.
I'm going somewhere with this.
I got nervous. I was like, where is he going with this?
Because predominantly, like that's just by sheer factual numbers, it's male dominated.
Yeah,
and not by our choice,
Yeah,
so you're going to need input there because the most likely the people on the ranges, you know what I'm saying, by and large, and even people in clubs and so on are going to be predominantly male. So I think that's a silly idea. I can see the kind of thinking behind it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably counterproductive.
Yeah, I know they're doing it for the right reasons, but I think it's probably going to work against trying to.
At some stage, you're going to have to. Have to work together.
Yeah, and I think as long as everyone is open-minded, it's like you could have a woman that drives lorries or drives a digger all day long for a job. It doesn't mean she's going to be any less good at it than a man, but it's just changing the perspective on it. Being that I work at a gun range and a gun shop, I do come across it. I've got a lot of people that just come in and they're like, "Hi, Sarah, can I ask you a question? X, Y, Z, no problem." But you get other men and they'll look at me and go, "Oh," I had a guy come and he went, "Oh, is it just you here today?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, well, I need help." I said, "Right. So how can I help you?" "Oh, well, one of the guys not here?" I said, "No, it's just me." I said, "What's the problem?" "Well, I need my scope taking off my gun." I said, "Okay, give it here." "Well, you know how to do that?" I did nearly say, "Well, if you don't know how to take a scope off your gun, you probably shouldn't even be shooting," but I left that part out.
Yeah.
So you do get those people that have, men that do have a perspective of you. And often I'll go in the range and go shooting. They look at you and go, "Do you need any help? Are you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm absolutely fine." Yeah. But then equally, you get a load of men that like, "Oh, great work, Sarah," or "Thanks for your advice,"
Yeah.
But then again, it's in anything, isn't it? It's not just shooting. It's in any industry and any sport. You've just got to take it on the chin and get on with it, really.
Yeah, exactly. There's always going to be, I suppose, a transition period. The world was one way for a very, very long time, and now it's starting to change, and it just takes
people.
Us women are not just in the kitchen behind a cooker and doing the dishwasher.
No, here.
Because I tell you, I can't cook to save my life.
I've cooked my own dinner for the last week and a half, so I know that to be true.
You should talk to my wife. You get on really well because she can't cook either. That's terrible. But come here. So so talk us through some of the type of hunting that you do. You do obviously pheasants. What else? What's?
So I do fox shooting. So round us, we've just got roe deer around here. Okay. That's all we've got from the deer side. I travel up to Norfolk quite a lot. We've got a friend up there that's a head keeper on estate, and he's got Chinese water deer and muntjac.
Nice.
And he invites us up. We go and do a bit of shooting up there, which is quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay for any pheasant days. It's not something I love. Me and shotguns, I think since I've got into the rifles, me and shotguns just don't connect. We don't get on well.
Yeah.
So I'll get invites and say, and I'm like, 500-600 quid for a day, and I'm probably going to hit one bird if I'm lucky. Like, that's a really expensive day.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't do a huge amount. I do a lot of picking up, like gun dogs. I've got my own gun dogs that I train. So I'm quite lucky that through the picking up at the end, you get your beaters days and your pickers up days. So I don't mind so much. I went out last year, and the first few drives, actually, I kind of looked at my neighbour and thought, God, is he shooting all these? Are they actually dropping out? And he said, you've shot them. I thought, blooming hell, I don't know what I'm doing right, but something, I might have just been scaring them and they were having a heart attack, but they were dropping out the sky.
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
So, but yeah, mainly just roe deer stalking for me, really.
What's your favorite deer to hunt? Because you guys have the pick over there. You've the CWD, the Munchaks,
Yeah.
you have obviously reds probably up north.
So I haven't completed the UK 6 yet.
Six. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So we got they call it the UK 6, and everyone says, "Have you done your 6 yet?" So you've got muntjac, Chinese water deer, roe deer, fallow, Sika, and red.
Okay. Okay.
I'm yet to do a red and a fallow. Are 2 left on my list.
Okay.
I did go and do 2 Sika stalks, which I paid for to get myself a nice Sika stag. First time, didn't really see anything, that I really wanted to shoot. Second time, had a really, really incredible stag come out in front of me.
Uh-oh.
Not very far away. I like to tell everyone it's like 400 yards, but reality it was about 60 yards.
Oh,
and it was that panic situation. It was right in front of me, looking me dead in the eyes. And it's like, if I move really fast, it's gone.
Okay.
If I move too slow, it could be gone. But you're trying to get your gun up onto the stick.
Yep.
I pulled the shot. It ran away and just said, "See you later. Thanks for missing me." And it wasn't until after that I went to reload and put another bullet in the gun, and my hands, I couldn't even reload the gun. I was shaking that much.
Yeah.
And the guy that I was with, he said, "You were shaking so much. I just got like buck fever. It was completely my fault. Plus side, clean missed it. I didn't wound it, which is fantastic."
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back out the end of this year, and third time lucky. Hopefully I can compose myself.
Well, it'll be one hell of a story at the end of it. Third time out, you get a book out that early,
Stalk number 82, Sarah Pike.
It'll be 64 years of age, and you'll say, "I'm going to get him." Yeah.
But I think shot a red stag yet, but I'm fascinated with red deer.
Yeah.
I think for me, red is going to be the one that I really love. I just think they're fascinating. They're incredible. We went down to Exmoor near us recently just for a day out, and I've got the binos out looking at all the red deer, and I could just sit there all day and watch them. So I'm hopefully going for a red stag end of this year.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. Let's hope Sarah doesn't miss again.
Well, they're way bigger, so you can't miss one of them.
You'd like to think. I hope I don't have to come back and tell you, that really big red stag. I did actually miss it.
Oh, jeez.
There is something majestic about it. It's kind of like I think when you look at reds, even though probably I don't know well, definitely in Ireland and the UK, I think that they've probably been here the longest, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a kind of, I don't know, it's like a mythical thing or kind of a link from the past.
Yeah, I agree. I know exactly what you're getting at. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're thinking
they're majestic. You know what I mean?
They're the closest thing to dinosaurs you're going to get. Hell of a long time around, John, and they're huge.
We don't have crocodile here, so
no. Yeah, no, we're lucky actually. Where we live here, we've got red close to us here, fairly close to us.
Yeah. Have you got mainly Sika?
No, well, Sika, fallow, and red. That's and there is muntjac, but I've never seen one. You haven't seen one.
No.
They're reportedly here, but yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, but
it was like an eye opener.
Sika.
They're really hard to stalk.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, they really are. Yeah. I love
people like that do it all the time. You're obviously used to it, but for me, I just walk across a field to a roe deer chatting away. If the wind's in the right direction, you just sort of carry on. But when I did the Sika stalk, it's like you move a finger and they look at you and it's like, how the hell did they see that?
What one thing I will Sika, I have never shot a Sika that wasn't looking at me before I was looking at him. I've never ever
Yeah.
I have never gotten into a situation on Sika where I've snuck into a position. Anytime I always if I
Yeah.
get in and I see them and when I go in, they're already looking at me. And guaranteed by the time I have the scope on him, he is looking. He knows something's there. He doesn't know what it is. It's not enough to spook him, but they know something's there without a doubt.
The sneaky seeker, I call them.
Yeah, yeah, but they're class.
Nosy neighbour, aren't they? Like they just, but they're really
Yeah.
inquisitive and
Yeah,
they spot something, they start whistling to
squeaking
each
and
other.
whistling. Yeah, to give everyone else the heads up. The fucker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think like the probably the big issue, not the issue, but what makes them unique over here is the kind of landscape that they live on here. I'm not sure what it's like in the UK, but they live in ground that's uninhabitable to probably any other creature in this world, and so
Yeah.
it makes stalking in on them and getting them out of there just a whole other uh, a horror story. They're on like the edge of cliffs, like up the worst mountain boggy conditions you've ever seen. The Sikh are weird. They love the harder the weather and the harder conditions, the more they thrive. So wet, windy weather, you'll see them out. They're
You're looking at that cliff thinking, do I really want to shoot it there? Because
Yeah.
that is going to be a complete pain in the backside.
without a doubt, yeah, that's the hard part. But then the meat, I love the meat. You're not as keen on the meat, but you're coming around to it.
When I started shooting, it was Seek, and then obviously taste red, and red would be probably my favorite, and then I got a bit. So it's kind of that. But then I think what's happened to me personally is I've actually I don't eat really beef at all now. It's all venison.
Stop bragging, man.
It's a year, but it's just been that way, and I think I probably my palate has been completely wiped and readjusted, and I will never ever go back.
Yeah. So you like seeking out as well. You enjoy. Yeah. What about you, Sarah?
I'd say like round here, everyone says like Sika out of all the UK six, Sika is the best.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then probably Muntjac underneath that. If I'm honest, most feedback I get is the least liked venison in the UK would be roe deer. It's just from the feedback that I get from people.
Okay.
They say Sika is the best.
Yeah, and it's funny, Steve Ranella, he would sort of second that in parts of the UK, elk and on the deer side of things. He loves Sika. I've heard him saying it a couple of times. So it's weird, isn't it? I think a lot of it's the way you cook it too, and the way you.
I think going back to when I started shooting, I didn't know really what I was at in terms of hanging and like we used to skin them and quarter them all in one day, and try and get them.
Yeah.
Because we were afraid of being too gamey, and
you didn't have a cool room, or you didn't have.
No, it was not forklifting.
Yeah.
So it was just really kind of story stuff, But now, like the last you've seen your one today, really, you wouldn't need a knife.
No.
So
mine's been hanging in the cold room now with the hide on for probably just on 7 days, isn't it? Just coming to 7 days, and the difference it makes, how tender the meat is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah.
I generally go for about a week, to be honest, to hang them in the chiller. But then again, each their own. I had a guy come into work recently. He said, 3 weeks at 3 degrees is what he does his for.
Oh, 3 weeks.
3 weeks at 3 degrees. I was like, I don't know if I fancy trying that, but again, each to their own.
There used to be a story here years ago just on pheasants. I'd be interested to hear if you've heard this in the UK. And someone used to, and this you've heard this one.
Yeah.
This was almost a golden rule here. People would say, how long do you leave them hanging for pheasants? And they'd say you leave them hanging until the first maggot falls off them.
Oh no!
That is the truth.
Some sort of rite of passage.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you leave it hanging until nearly the first maggot falls off.
They'd be absolutely stinking by that point.
Disgusting. Yeah,
I think you'd be gagging just preparing.
definitely not. No, not for me.
I won't do it. Rule of pheasants, very, very simple. As quickly as possible.
Yeah, I do. I tend to pheasants. I just breast them. I just use the breast. Definitely. Yeah. Come here. What? So you're kind of saying you're kind of located down the southwest of the UK, and you're saying like you've was it roe deer? You have a bit around there.
Yeah, literally just roe deer.
Roe deer.
I mean, if you on our ground that we have permission on is all roe deer. If you venture an hour or so, there are a few muntjac and that coming in.
Okay.
Sika and things. Yeah, Sika and fallow, they are around here, but just personally on the ground that we've got permission on is just purely roe deer.
Roe deer, okay. And you have to go much further north then to get the reds. Like, have you got? Would there be reds in the Midlands in the UK much, or?
Yeah, so traveling a little bit further for red. I mean, we're kind of like where we're situated. We're sort of not far from anything here. But down on Exmoor, you've got red. So Exmoor would take us about an hour to get to, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So we're not sort of far from anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like I say, we just don't have the permission for it personally. We've only got roe deer, which is fine. You know, I mean, we've got plenty of deer on our ground. We've got lots of farmers moaning that they want them culled out completely, which we're not doing.
Yeah.
They want every single one obliterated. It's like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Got enough. And
what are you?
I guess
what are you shooting with, Sarah? Sorry for interrupting you, but what are you shooting with?
So I've got a 6.5 Creedmoor Christensen arms, yeah.
Can't beat it.
And then for the foxing, I've got the Hauer 1500 223 with a thermal infrared TL35 scope on it.
Why do you use those particular brands, may I ask?
Well, because they're the best of the best, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I might the bad cousin at the wedding. So I'm sure over in the car. Let you take it.
Yeah, Highland Outdoors need to get on to Anthony.
So very fortunate that I got asked to be a brand ambassador for Highland Outdoors. Didn't really think much of it. Just thought, oh yeah, it's one of those things that people say. But it came off. You know, it went from a conversation to, we're going to send you a load of stuff, put your variation in. I was like, what? Yeah. Said I didn't want a 6.5 Creedmoor to begin with. I was very much 243 is the only way to go. I've only ever shot 243.
Okay.
But they were like, no, we really want you to try a 6.5. So I was like, fine, okay, I'll try it. And yeah, I mean, I can't fault it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, very fortunate to get equipment through them. But equally, like, people will say to me, oh, well, you just promote it because you have to, or you get paid to. I don't get paid to do it.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that I get equipment to use and to try, but I don't get paid to do it. And I was very honest with them in the start. And I said to them, if you send me something that is utter rubbish, I will not promote it and I will send it back to you. Yeah. I'm not going to sit there on Instagram and go, this is the best scope in the world, but actually you can't see anything through it.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm about. And I said to them, this is going to be a perk to what I do, to having this equipment, but equally I'm going out to do a job. You know, this is my hobby. I've got a job to do in, you know, managing deer and foxes. I haven't got time to be messing about with equipment that doesn't work for me. So, you know, by all means, I'm happy to try lots of different stuff. But if it doesn't work for me, or I'm faffing around, you know, the scope won't turn on and this won't work, you know, I will send it back to you because, you know, I'm going out just to enjoy what I do and to do a job.
Yeah.
But honestly, everything they've sent me so far, I really can't fault it. And that is an honest opinion. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think they're worried about sending me stuff because they wouldn't be able to keep ammunition in me gun. I think that's the problem. But go back to what you said. You probably, Sarah, especially with the job you're in as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't. It'd be a difficult place to work if you were saying, "Oh, I find this particular piece of equipment great," and you people coming into you on a daily basis.
Taking your word.
Yeah, exactly. So you're it's kind of like. You've twice as much to lose, you know. If it, so it's good. Like,
yeah, and I'm also very open-minded. I mean, Highland are great; they're very easygoing, and you know, I'm also open-minded to people. You know, there's many people say, "I want X, Y, Z," and I'm like, you don't need to spend all that money.
Yeah, do you
know what I mean, you know, I'm not. And I've always said to people that have come in through the shop and through work, and they've said, "I want a shotgun. What's the best one?" And I've said, "Well, it could be £1,000 one. It could be a £300 second one." You know, the price personally, I don't think matters. You could spend £10,000 on a gun and you might not be able to hit a barn door with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to fit you. It's got to suit you. And it's just got to work for you. You know, I could say to you, this Christensen is the best gun in the world. And you say, it just doesn't really fit me. I don't like the feel of it. And that's absolutely fine. You've just got to find what works for you. I shoot a Browning shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I like Berettas. I've got nothing against Berettas, but I just can't shoot them.
Yeah.
And that's just me personally. So I don't think you can put a price on it or a brand on it. You've just got to find what suits you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's loads of people, writing email into they're thinking about getting into sport or into and where should I start? What firearm? And we always say, go down, get the gun in your hand, see what comes up, see what fits you well. In the words of Pat Brennan, I suppose what comes up to you. You know, like if you'll know almost instantly when you're going through which one feels more comfortable, and that's the one you should always lean towards.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that, and exactly like you were saying, Sarah, as well. Price doesn't really come into it. Like a €10,000 rifle is not going to make you any more accurate than the one that's €1,000. It's just if you have 10 grand and you 10 grand to spend a rifle and you want the blingy, the best, you go for it. Just knock yourself out 100%. But like that, if you want to go out and shoot deer, you know, a couple of €100 is going to get you. It's going to get you there.
Don't get me wrong. If I had me gun safe, every time I open that baby, I'd be looking at that safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The rain is lashing down.
Yeah, and I've seen your rifle, man. It's horrendous. It's absolutely. He's a beautiful Bergara here, and like I was looking at I was actually we were out for a hunt during the week, and I was literally going to take a sneaky picture and just like tag like Bergara and your scope. It's Vortex and all that, man. It's horrendous.
What they should do for me really is, JCB should build right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
half a shovel.
He does getting across a ditch. He just throws the gun over, and then he's.
So basically, what you're saying is he needs to be sponsored by some like cleaning company to clean his rifle, some new cleaning kit.
Absolutely, and wrapped in polystyrene or something. Definitely,
It would sell well, wouldn't it? It'd be like from this to this.
Yeah. You'd be the best man to test it. Yeah. Have you, come here, speaking on Howes, have you tried super lights yet? Have you got your hands, or have you seen them over there much?
Yeah, we've got plenty about. I haven't actually tried one yet myself. But big on the market, really popular.
Yeah.
I see a few coming through the range at work. I see hundreds of guns coming through the range at work every day. So, they're popular, but I haven't personally tried one yet. Have you?
Yeah, that's what I use. Yeah, I've got this.
Okay.
Yeah, the 1500. Yeah, I was a bit kind of like I couldn't fault it. I just didn't know if it was the right one for me or not. Do you know that? You know, the type of way. Like it couldn't fault it. It was working. Was perfect on it. Very, very lightweight, which it is lightweight stuff. But I haven't done as much shooting this year. Realistically, I haven't done as much as I wanted to do. So it's very hard to, giving honest to say, this does everything I want to. I was hell bent on changing it up until a couple of weeks ago. We were out last week with it. Got a deer, carried it the whole day, and then at the end of the day, I'm kind of going, something. It is what you wanted, So kind of in two minds, but it works well. It is.
I think if you're doing a lot of walking, you need a light gun, don't you? I mean, I was amazed when I got that 6.5 Creedmoor Christensen arms. It's lighter than my 2.2. I was like, how is this possibly a Creed? How is this going to work?
Yeah,
it just feels. But it's fantastic. I can carry it all day long on my back, and you just don't know it's there.
Yeah. How do you find 6.5? What's your thoughts on the Creedmoor? Because we spoke about this. It gets a very weird rap in the States. They look at it like it's a 2.2. Well, I think they're all used to shooting fucking 3.38 Win Mags and mad stuff.
I know a few people have said to me, why have you got a Creedmoor? I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Personally, I haven't had a problem with it. It's done what I needed to do absolutely fine. It does the job.
Yeah.
I'm very open-minded. I've also always been I say why I was a little bit skeptical of a 6.5 was I've not been one to have like overgun, I say. so some people say, oh, I need like a 308 because, you know, it's a big round. And I'm like, but you're shooting roe deer,
Yeah.
you know, and you can cut this out, dare I say it.
We don't
It's
have
not,
it. So
it's not, oh God, I might get shot for saying this. It's not legal, but I personally believe you could take out a roe deer with a 223. You
oh
could.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
So why go and get yourself a massive rifle that's heavier, more expensive ammo, you know, the bullet travels further, blah, 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 when a 243 would do the job.
Yeah.
That's just how I've always been. So that's why when, you know, Highland came on, I was like, oh, well, you know, I don't really need a 6.5. But, you know, it is fantastic. And I really like it. You know, it is much better than the 243 I had. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot easier to use. But yeah, I've never been one to get massive rounds for, you know, I shoot within my means. If I was going to go and do a lot of red deer stalking and things like that, then definitely, you know, I'd up my caliber. But for what I need, it's just not necessary. And I mean, even going up to do the Chinese water deer and that, you know, legal caliber for them is 223.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, I don't need a massive rifle and spend. I had some ammunition come into work the other day for a customer. It was some 300 Win Mag.
Yeah.
It's £63 a box
For 20.
for 20.
Yeah, well, here's something you're probably not going to believe. A box of 20 6.5 over here is about €68.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, what's it over there? What's
So 6.5 Creedmoor, you're probably looking at about £40 a box.
Jesus? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, we're
I'm like, why are you buying these big guns? Because the ammo is really expensive, and when you miss, it's quite costly.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was looking at the 30-06, like, which is a big round too, but it's obviously got to do with the way it's produced. Like, they're mad cheap over here, even though it's a much bigger round. But we could get about 180 grains for about, what do we say, about 35, €40. Whereas,
that's a lot cheaper.
yeah, it's nearly 70 quid.
I'm saying that, like, I seen one of the guys actually, because I used to shoot with the 6.5 55, and I used to Celio and Bello all the time with that, you know.
Yeah.
Both for foxing and for deer, and like really, I think it was 33, 35 euros a box, and I couldn't get it in the Creedmoor, but one of the guys actually is after sent me a link, and there seem to be stocking it again here.
All right.
So very, very, I think in around 40 quid a box, which is
right.
too bad. So it'd be about, you know, there.
Yeah. She's not wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. What do you tend to use over there? Is there one brand or that you go for, or one grain, or do you?
Not particularly. I think it's difficult, isn't it? And as you'll probably find, every rifle is different. You could have two 243s in exactly the same make, but they'll both shoot different ammunition. You've kind of just got to find what works with your rifle. I tend to use Federal or Norma, something like that. I think through the 6.5 at the minute, I've got Hornaday in that.
Okay. What's going on? You've got a fireworks display going on your screen.
I was just about to say, what? I've not even touched anything, and I've got fireworks going off behind me.
No idea. I haven't got a clue. It's not me because I don't know how to do that. So
neither do I.
And you have, Sarah, sorry, on your Creedmoor, you have the infrared, or is it you have the infrared on the Creedmoor? Is that correct?
No, so the infrared is on the Howard 223 for my foxing rifle.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the Christensen Arms of my stalking rifle, I've got a Maven scope.
Maven, oh, very nice, yeah. Is the infrared a TD50 or 70, or what have you got on there?
A TL35.
Okay, nice, yeah.
Which first ever thermal I've used. So to begin with, I was like, whoa, this is weird. You know, it's just not something I was used to. But over time, as I've used it, I've got me used to it, and it's absolutely fantastic. You know, the range you can pick up foxes, and you can get that heat spot as they're traveling through the bank and the hedge line, and it's incredible. And I love to be able to record stuff. You know, I'm mad into taking pictures and filming, and on those sort of scopes, you just hit record, and it does it all for you. Because especially at night as well, how do you film yourself shooting a fox?
Rennie loves taking pictures and videos as well. That, you know, he'll
That's a
just
dig.
do it all the time. Sarah.
That's a dig at me because okay, so just to this podcast disclaimer, any social media on the Irish Hunting Podcast you ever see is done by Anthony. I don't
Even Brendan's.
even my own stuff. I don't even post on my own personal page. I'm just absolutely useless at it. I just don't do it. But yeah, sorry. You got your dig. No, you deserve that.
Yeah, well done.
You got you know, good on you.
Wait
Good
a
on
year.
you.
Well done. The posts look really good.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, good for you. No, but I do agree with you. It is. I did an ATN on a little 1.7 here, and it is cool at the end of the night when you're trying to explain it. You can actually show them as well. Well, this is actually how the way he came in and stuff. So yeah, I definitely do get that. It's brilliant.
And when you go wrong, you can see where you went wrong. You know, you can look at it and go, I was absolutely bang on that. So that should have been a hit. Or I pulled that shot, it went left, it went right. So it's quite interesting to see where, you know, because sometimes you can be so convinced you've got it right. And you look at the footage and you're like, I was not steady on that.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Because you can start to then, especially when you're in early doors, you know, but even recently in my case, but you can see and correct where you have gone wrong, because like when we've been out, say, you know, previously before night visions and all that kind of stuff, you were saying I was definitely
something wrong with the scope. Yeah. So then you look back and you go,
to see what you're actually doing wrong. You know, is the main thing.
Yeah. I haven't seen it myself doing nothing wrong, but I'm sure I probably will at some stage. And come here, what does your friends think? Like, you know, it's not your standard hobby or career path. Dare I say it, because it isn't, you know, for the majority of women in your age. So like, what do they think? What's their thoughts? Do they think, geez, that's
so yeah, I'd say my close friends, like none of them are into shooting at all.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of my friends are like, let's go shopping for the weekend. I'm like, woo. It's not really my thing. But equally they're open-minded to it. I don't, you know, my particular close friend, she's really not into it at all. She eats meat and that, but she just would never be able to shoot an animal. It's just not her thing. So I'm quite respectful. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, look at this deer that I shot this weekend, you know?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it and she'll say, what have you been up to? I say, I've been out shooting and things like that. But I don't rub it in anyone's face that's not into it and it's not their thing, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll discuss it and then that's kind of it. I mean, but it's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's quite nice, I guess, to have. I've got this life of shooting, but then I go out with some girls and we'll go for dinner and things like that. And you talk about other stuff. It's quite nice to have a break from it sometimes, because I do find it does get a lot sometimes. I think working in it as well. You know, I work in a gun shop, I work in a rifle range. Then you come home and you go shooting. You try and go out on the weekend. Sometimes I do get those days that I'm like, I'm just sick of guns. You know, people say to me, oh, amazing, you work in a rifle range, you must shoot all the time. And I'll say, I couldn't tell you the last time I shot in that range, because by the end of the day when I finished, I'm sick of guns. I'm sick of talking about them. I don't want to go in there shoot. I just want to go home.
Yeah. You know, we can definitely relate to that, especially even with the podcast. You know, there's been times. Yeah. Even with the podcast, we've sometimes done less shooting than you would, because you know you're talking about all day, every day, and you know,
down there we should be probably, it's lovely even out there. You know, I could be out. You know what I mean? And kind of resented a little bit. But,
there's times you spend that much time talking about it and do and stuff, and you know, doing all this.
And
stuff.
I think it's good to take a break every now. And again, I think it's like every sport. If you played football 3 times a week, you probably get a little bit sick of it after a while. You know, I think it's okay to have a break from it and not put too much pressure on yourself. Like, I've got to be out.
Yeah.
Because you have got life. You know, life gets in the way. Fortunately, I'm not rich enough to just stay at home and shoot all day long.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. No, I get you though. Yeah. Come here. The Christians in Arms. I've had a look at those. They are. Yeah. One of the lads, Dean. You know Dean. That's Dean Farrell. He's.
I met him at the British Shooting Show for the first time. Really, really nice guy.
Yeah. He's a nice guy. Yeah. He has one. I was looking at that. That's it's a nice bit of kit too. In fairness, yeah. We might have to look at one of them.
He said we'll have to meet up and go shooting when he said come over to Ireland. So I've got lots of people in Ireland that I need to go and see.
Yeah, but don't mind, he can't. He doesn't really shoot any deer here. Why did he say he shoots deer? No.
Dean shoots deer.
Yeah. You'll have no shortage if you're ever coming over. We'll bring you out. You mightn't shoot hand, but I guarantee you'll have a good laugh on you, and that's for sure.
It's about for me, and people say, "Oh, do you get annoyed if you don't shoot something?" No, not particularly. I mean, I haven't got any dirty work to do at the end of it, and I haven't got to drag a deer back, so it's a bonus. But it's the journey, and it's just being out. And if I actually get real enjoyment out of like taking other people out as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sharing the journey and just having a laugh, like, having some fun, being out in nature and just disconnecting yourself from the world a little bit and the hustle and bustle and the madness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I didn't pull a trigger the other day, and I had probably one of the best days hunting in a while, and like that. It's Brenny shot. You're happy for your buddy just after doing his thing, and there's something to talk about, you know what I mean? And you get out, you always see something that interests you. It's never ever just I went out, seen those and I came home. It's you always
it's stunning. Something,
or you feel refreshed, you clear the mind, you get your boots in the ground. That's what it's all about,
Yeah, we sat down in the middle of a forest underneath a tree like that, a woodpecker demolished, and we talked for ages. We was actually romantic. I was actually going to kiss you once.
Did you take a little bottle of wine as well? Amazing.
It's not my type, Sarah.
But no, but it is true. You're exactly what you're saying there. It is. It's lovely to get out, and I think as hunters, one thing we all have in common is we appreciate nature and wildlife and being out in it. I think, and sometimes it's nice. Aside from pulling the trigger, just to be out and see somewhere new and stuff, it's class,
And set and just enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Any plans for going anywhere else hunting, or is there any other parts of the world or any particular species you're looking to go after?
Not particularly. Like I said, I'm going to try and get my Sika by the end of this year without missing again. Off to Scotland September, October time to do some geese shooting and some red stag shooting, hopefully. But I kind of just take the opportunities when they come. I don't sort of think, right, I have to go and shoot X, Y, Z. A lot of people put pressure on it and say by the time I'm 30 I want to have shot all of the UK 6, or I do it because I enjoy it. I don't want the pressure of having to do it by a certain time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like to think I've got plenty of time left in me to I don't want to put the pressure on to think I've got to go and do it all now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I was sure you're only like 18, so you have years to go yet. You know what I mean?
18. Well, I tell you, I did get asked for ID for some kettle descaler recently.
Kettle? Why do you need ID for kettle descaler?
Because it said on the pot, it said must be over 18, and she looked at me and she was like, I don't think you're over 18. I'm actually 32, so but I had to show her my ID to buy some descaler for my kettle.
That's why I grew the beard. I was the same. People constantly ask me, like,
I've been trying, but it's just not.
I walk into a shop. Oh, is your parents with you somewhere? And I was like, no,
I'm big moment where I'm biting my fingers.
I'm a grown ass man. Yeah, no, that's wicked. Yeah. Come here. Have you been to Ireland before?
Yes, many years ago. I've got a friend of mine. He used to work over here on a farm. He lives in Cavan.
Oh, Cavan. Oh, yeah.
I know who bought the drinks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's enough.
I've learned how to say it now, because when I went there, I got in the taxi and he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "To Cavan." Cavan?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's like, it's not that posh, it's just Cavan. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there. Yeah. Cavan people.
Wicklow as well.
Oh, Wicklow. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Dublin. I can't remember what time of year I went, but all I can tell you is it absolutely pissed it down the whole time I was there. There was a storm. There was trees falling down. And I did most of the sightseeing from the comfort of a car.
Yeah. See, that's the tricky thing about Ireland. That doesn't narrow down the season at all. That could be summer. We don't.
But I'd love to come back to Ireland. Like, I think it's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. Me and my partner, he's mad into his shooting as well. we'd love to come over and do some shooting over there and just spend some time over there. I mean, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, you should look into it for towards the end of September, right? That that'll be kind of right in the kind of rush time of the year there. So if you're thinking of coming over, right, aim to come there. And absolutely goes without saying, if you are coming over, give us a shout and we'll bring you out for a hunt. It won't cost you a penny, and I guarantee you'll have a good old laugh. Yourself and your partner included, you'll have a bit of a laugh anyway, and we'll show.
Yeah, no, definitely, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Have you anything?
And Ireland's got the best cider.
Bulmers.
No, I can't think what it's called now, but it was the best cider.
Rockshore.
No.
No, Orchard Thieves would be English, would it?
Is it?
Orchard Thieves.
Is that not a British one? Is that not like...
Don't find it around here at all. The only place I can find it is like online in like a can, like a Coke can, and it does not taste the same.
No way. Oh, jeez, I thought that was a real. I thought that was real English cider.
Honestly, I'm going to come back purely for the cider as well because it was incredible.
Yeah,
We've a lot of the best things over here.
we do. It's just one of few. Yeah.
Let me show you guys.
The Guinness. You have to get into the Guinness. You drink the Guinness at all? No.
No.
Oh, you never drank Irish Guinness though.
Guinness is Guinness, isn't it?
Oh.
No.
That's rookie mistake.
That's an insult, that isn't it? Guinness is just Guinness.
Sacrilege! Oh my God! Yeah, no.
People throwing their phones at the radio.
There is, yeah, exactly. Half our followers are just gone now.
I've just been cancelled.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, listen, we have taken up, I think, enough of your time. I'm sure you're anxious to get probably. Have your kids? They're probably in bed now at this stage.
So I mean, it's like perfect this time. I've missed the bedtime stuff. I've got out of it.
Happy days. Exactly. Yeah, we'll do the podcast 5 nights a week. We just don't tell anyone.
Yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah Miles, thanks a million for coming on to the Irish Hunting Podcast. It's been a great bit of an insight into your life and a bit of crack. And we wish you the absolute best for the future. Yeah, exactly.
Keep going.
Keep doing what you're doing.
And hope to see you soon.
Video incoming for us out stalking together.
What's that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, make it happen. Just give us a shout.
Don't rely on McGuire to do the video. That's all.
We'll sort it.
No, aim to come over in September. We'll bring you out, and you'll have a ball. We'll get you your Sika. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a million.
Sarah.
Over now. Have a good one. All right. Thanks a million.
Thank you. Bye.
Take it easy. Bye. We're back, lad. That was Sarah Miles, a very, very interesting person to talk to. Great bit of crack as well. You know, those are my first time to get chatting to Sarah. So
there's nobody really boring in this.
No.
Either.
Do we have any born guests? Well, we probably did, but we won't name them. No, we didn't.
Go on, McGuire. You're out having 2 beers, man. You can play the beer.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, we didn't.
When I got enough trouble for the 2 of us.
No, I'm the one that always gets us in trouble on this fucking podcast. So, no, in fairness, no, Sarah's really nice, easy person to talk to. Absolute wealth of knowledge. And what I like about Sarah, and I've been following her progress and stuff, she's not all like, the picture, and you know what I mean. She's on the ground. She's hunting. She's in. She's passionate about it. She's doing it for all the right reasons, and just a great person to talk to, and a great, phenomenal advocate for women in hunting.
Absolutely, I think the biggest thing I took from that was, her change in mindset, not forced in any way, but she just naturally came around that this is this is her way of life now. So
yeah.
She's not forcing her will on anyone else. No. She's friends who don't like it or maybe don't agree with some parts of it or wouldn't do it or whatever. But but I think that is the tolerance for people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree.
I think we're big advocates for that here.
Yeah. No, I
sorry, I was just telling my Facebook. Buddy there to get back to work.
Oh my God, man. This is if anyone's going to let's just be clear on this, right? Anthony does all the Facebook and Instagram and so if you have been
an issue,
exactly,
traumatized.
Exactly. If someone has insulted you, it's him.
Look, I'm very, very touchy about our followers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when people attack them, you know what I'm saying? I take it personally. So there's one dude there, and he said he's not going to listen in tonight, but I know he is.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Because you're working for us now, baby. He's doing loads of work for us, spreading the good word. So get back to work now. Your fucking time is over.
You're an absolute lunatic. My God. Just on Sarah, anyone that wants to follow Sarah, she's on Instagram and she's on Facebook and stuff. You'll find her on Instagram at Sarah_Miles_shooting. You'll find her there, and give her a follow.
She's on YouTube as well. Cool videos up on YouTube. So check them out. It's brilliant. You're gonna learn a little bit. You're gonna see, especially across the water, the roe and the Chinese water deer and stuff like that. So cool. Well worth a follow. And she always puts up interesting content.
Absolutely, without doubt, relevant. Talk about interesting content, man. We got a bit of content during the week, or should I say, you got a bit of content, because we actually we alluded to it a bit earlier. We got out for a shot, the two of us.
We did, yeah.
I was on a fill the freezer mission.
You did, and you did exactly that, my man.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Right, start us off. You picked me up.
I picked you up, man. Yeah, I did. I picked you up
early doors.
It was actually the day after the meeting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I picked up early doors. Got on the road. We've got a bit of a hike from here to where we were going. Yeah. So when we got up there, it was brighter than we had anticipated. I think it was fair to say it was well and truly bright at this stage. We wanted to be up there for kind of first light to start trekking in, but when we got there, kids were going to school, so it was a bit the light got up ahead of us. Saw a ton of deer on the way down, which is actually unusual. You don't usually tend to see them, So we had seen a good few. Obviously, we are in April now, so it's just males, for the last couple of weeks of it. So kind of cuts down your chances a fair bit too. So I wasn't feeling overly optimistic, if I'm being honest, especially when the light was kind of had gotten ahead of us and stuff. So I wasn't feeling overly.
Yeah, I was confident.
You were confident, man.
Yeah, I was just had that
like that.
I had that fucking.
Did you?
Yeah, I always think when you go up, because everyone was chilled,
Yeah, it was very.
Do you know what I'm saying? We were having a bit of crack going up in the thing. We're actually recording on the thing, and we're on the portable microphones, and we're actually having a good bit of buzz going up, and it was relaxed. Yeah. I always, for some reason, kind of think that those hunts are the ones that generally are successful for some reason. Yeah. I just think everything kind of clicks in, But
don't make stupid mistakes too, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're not forcing things. You're not you're not doing it because you're this is my last chance now to to go to. Do you understand? We had kind of you taking the 2 days off. Yeah, the Thursday and Friday, so we knew the pressure was off a little bit. We could come back up the following day. Do you know what I'm saying? So there wasn't that. Oh, we have to do this, or else I'm gone for another week. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they're always kind of the nicer ones.
Yeah, no, it was grand. Yeah, no, it was good. And first, the weather, we were kind of lucky. It was actually kind of warm, wasn't it? It was fairly mild when we got up there and we got going. So yeah, we got up to our famous spot that I've went to probably more this year than any other year, but because I know it does hold deer. You went right hand side of the road. I went to the left. I headed down and kind of down. There's a sort of a long field just on the edge of the hill. I kind of, kept breast of the hedge and the whole way on up, because I knew the area where the deer usually would be. I sort of said, if I keep tight to this now, and if there's anything out, if I keep tight to the hedge, there's less of a chance to see me. Follow the hedge to the end of the field, up to the headland, all right, follow down along the edge of the headland, down to just a little corner in the field that you're just up at a height, and you're kind of looking out over. There's two kind of hot spots that you, anytime up there, 90% of the time if I'm up there and I see deer, that's where they will be, I wasn't long, man. I was only there probably maybe half an hour, I'd say, maybe thereabouts.
Yeah, probably even a little bit less.
Maybe even a bit less, I'd say. Yeah. Was having a bit of a look around. Made a complete and utter stupid rookie mistake. Never brought me binoculars. So I know what I was thinking. So I was just scouting around, seeing was that and moving, and then I kind of copped. Kind of just barely off to the right hand side of me, I could just see. I actually thought it was a calf. Like, there was cattle out. I thought it was actually a calf. Like, yeah, but it was kind of dark in colour. And then when I threw up the scope to have a look, it wasn't. It was just like an old dead fur. I don't know why it looked so black, but it wasn't. But Anyway, it was just I know, a bit of fucking fur or whatever the fuck you call it. It was dead anyway. But just about probably 50, 60 yards behind that was an old white thorn. And you just couldn't make it up. Like the chances of it, because I hadn't actually got my binoculars, and the chances of it, I was just literally looking down through the scope at this dead fur, and they said it was just a white thorn, just barely at the sort of, you could say, the peripheral of the scope. And I don't know how, I just caught it, but then it kind of moved. You know, I could see it just moved. Just this shade of brown moved behind it. I was like, what the fuck is that? And it just caught my attention straight away, and I just moved it straight away, and I was like, that's a deer. And with 90%, probably not 90% sure, but I just would have guessed any money. I said, I bet you know it's a hind. What's the bets? It's a hind. And there's a fair, a decent lump of a white thorn, and it just kept pulling. And I was kind of looking for the head. Went in behind a heap of an old yellow fur bush, of which there's no shortage of them down there, and peered out. So it went to the left, peered out behind the fur. Next thing, I nearly dropped, man. I could just see these I won't say a savage pair of antlers, but a good pair of antlers. And it was just, like you said, it was like, the stars aligned. I was like, I would have bet any money. Peered off then to the right-hand side and was coming around. And I don't know if something spooked it or it was just sort of half lively, So I just turned to the right then, and then walked probably about 10, 15 yards, kind of at a bit of an angle, stopped completely broadside of me, like could not have got better. Was looking around, something had sparked its interest. About 200 yards, man, got on it, pulled the trigger. Now my heart nearly leapt out through my chest, because that's the first deer I've shot in a good while, know. I haven't shot as many this year as I probably have. Maybe I probably have shot more, but like I've been out probably a good bit more,
Yeah.
So yeah, heart nearly leapt out through my chest, squeezed the trigger, bang, and looked, and the deer initially went to ran, and I immediately chambered another round, and I had it straight in my head. I said, you're after pulling on that. I said, I'm telling you, I was getting flashbacks to 2 weeks before that with the fox. I said, you're fucking after pulling on that now. And I say, I ran probably 20, not even 30 yards, ran and stopped, but it stopped like abruptly, and it was looking around, and I thought it was like, the way sometimes a deer
looking for somewhere to go, will
hear the shot and will run in a direction and almost expecting a follow-up, or they don't know if they're going the right direction. So I had chambered another round, was just pulling around to get back on him, thinking I'd get another shot off, and just before I even got a hand on the trigger, he just keeled over and fell, and that was it. Job done, man. Dragged him out on my own. And
that's for Jesus, he was an old handbag.
Not desperate.
But you sent the picture through. I was actually just coming down, and I couldn't have been happier. I was thoroughly delighted, because I knew you wanted to fill the freezer. I knew you hadn't been out in a while, and all them things play into that all leads up to whether we're just actually talking with Sarah about it, because you can shoot as much steel or as many targets as you want. But there's nothing like the adrenaline when that pops into the scope,
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend.
And like what you said, then you've the added pressure. Then pulling on the fox the last time, you said, "Oh fucking hell!" And you're just niggles, and all them, which is great. It means it means the world when everything goes the way it should go,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So no, well done, man. Well done.
No, it was great, man. It was proud dad. But it was mad. Like I literally nearly had not a panic attack. Like my heart was like, as Sarah mentioned earlier on, like my hands were shaking, man. I don't know why. It was just all the build up of like, can't believe this is actually happening. It's all coming together. Like it's not like it's the first year I've ever shot around, but I don't know what it was, man. I literally was just like nearly shaking. I was just like, right, breathe now. I couldn't believe it. Like Anyway.
Funny, when we were going up, I was the only reservation I had, because on that side of the road, they're generally a little bit tougher to stalk into. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they were the last couple of times we've been up there, they've been, the far side of the valley.
Yeah.
And it's a fucker to bridge that gap. It
is.
Where on the other side, but when I was coming in, light was what you do need on the other side of the road. Is you need the cover of darkness to get in and get set up.
Yeah,
just before first light. Because when you're coming down, there's a little bit of a long field.
Yeah,
And funny enough, when I was coming down, the big bough had fallen off it, which pushed me kind of out because it was all branches, and it was like still trying to,
Yeah.
But so yeah, you need a bit of, you definitely need to be up there a little bit earlier, on that side of the road. I was thinking, do I say it to him? I think we should go that side because there's.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but then I said,
for sure.
look, it's a 50-50 shot. No matter what,
Yeah.
and like that, all things, there is a little element of luck, especially in the places where we hunt. They're not huge numbers up in any of the spots that we have.
No.
So you need just a little bit of luck on your side as well, that something's going to step out in the right time, and not like you could have easily walked into that field and the first thing you met was a deer and would have spooked the rest of them, so.
Yeah.
And no more than the other side, but so you need a few stars to align, and then you obviously need to be controlled enough to pull the trigger, which you are, and execute the plan after a little bit of a break away from the saddle.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I meant to say it to you after. I couldn't believe it. 6.5, man. Like in and out at 200 yards.
Yeah.
In one side and straight out through the other.
Yeah.
Man, they do pack a punch. I have to give it to them. Like, and I would have been probably one of the biggest critics, but my God, man, there's no denying the power that's in them.
Look at it. I think we've had this to and fro probably for the best part of this season anyway. And I as further on it goes, and the more comfortable I get with it, I'm happy now,
Yeah.
Happy. It's more to do with me than it has to do with the round,
Yeah.
So
absolutely,
continue. Like I genuinely think it's like anything. There's a little bit of a doubt, and obviously you're reading some of the stuff online that feeds into it a little bit. But like I think we said with Sarah, and I genuinely believe this. I know you cannot do it, and I'm not advocating we do it, but like well placed 223 will do the job. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's if it'll kill a human, it'll kill a deer.
Absolutely.
So but that's obviously we don't condone it. So just saying,
but I know what you're saying. Like,
if that's going to do the job, and like back in the day, just lads used to shoot deer with shotgun. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, 100%. I think there's an awful American influence here, and like people listen to podcasts and read magazines and stuff, and they nitpick it, and they're talking down about this, and they're like, you could dissect every inch of every hunt you've ever done and every shot and but like, will it do the job? 100% it'll do the job. You put in the right field, man. Yeah, she'll do the job. I
remember Steve, even with you go down to we talked there about ammunition and guns and so on and so forth. And I remember Stevie White, good friend of the podcast, we were out zeroing with Stevie one of the days, and Stevie's a blazer now, and beautiful piece of kit. And I was admiring it, and I said to him, "Geez, man, it's lovely gun." As like they're phenomenal gun.
Yeah.
And he said, "Look, I think it was now Remy. I think he had. I stand corrected on that, but anyway, but basically he had an older gun before, obviously the blazer." And he said, does it do anything different than what they don't know? He said, it's a nicer gun to have, and it's a nicer gun to use. Yeah. Absolutely, but realistically, it's only doing what the other one's doing.
Yeah.
And
fair enough.
That's I think that sums it up. If I had my choice, would I have one? Of course I would,
Yeah.
But I think that probably sums it up. They'll all do the damage.
Yeah.
If you put it in the right spot.
Absolutely, without a doubt, man. Well said. So that was that. We got that done. We got that home. Then we went for a bit of a walk around one of your spots then, which was very enjoyable. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, we had a mug of tea and the jumbo breakfast roll on the way home.
It, man, yeah, it was grand. It wasn't the best breakfast roll. No, I will say.
I think you actually you had a safe escape because the sausages, man.
I didn't like the look of them, lad.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And I do like them, but I was like, no, don't like them. They're like the skinless.
A hot doggy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them.
They look like, do you ever see the gluten-free ones, man? Do you know what I mean? The elements.
Yeah, that's just takes the good out of it, man. Do you know what I mean? It takes the good out of it.
It's like, I can't believe it's not sausage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They just buy an actual sausage. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But anyway, look, we were hungry because we were up early. We had plenty of walking done.
Yeah.
Funny if I went down just before that. When I went down my side, the like that you had sent me the picture. So I was kind of.
You were on a bit of a nature walk.
Yeah, that's what I was, man.
Yeah.
I was like, do you know the way? One of the guys actually said the most photographed gun on Facebook. It's like, but like it's like, do you know one of them things where they bring one of them puppets around, you know, different countries has been. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, this beside this river.
Yeah.
But but I found a cool set of antlers. And now it didn't bother me bollocks bringing them back up, you know.
Yeah.
Which I probably should have.
Should have.
Cool.
Yeah. Sticker on the bonnet of the Jeep, lad.
Yeah. They'll bull bars.
Tell you.
Yeah.
You're going to do it.
Yeah, I will.
I know you will. I have the idea in your head now. Yeah.
So like that, and then which was cool. But as I was approaching down, you know, I was sneaking down, and there's a kind of a bit of a hill at the end of that, as you know, before you hit the river. And I was sneaking down, and like I wasn't making a sound, and the wind was right for me, as I thought. But literally, obviously, there was a Sika somewhere in the wood, looking straight out at me, and next thing, there's a little whistle.
Yeah.
So I knew my gig was over before I even started. But I took some pictures, man. Like it is beautiful.
It is beautiful, man.
Sun was just up, and
yeah.
and the sound of water. Oh man, it's magic. You know, it's just magic. It's food for the soul.
It is. Absolutely.
Unlike the breakfast roll, but
unlike the breakfast roll.
The cup of tea was nice.
I had a coffee now. Yeah, it's weird. You know, from where we were, there's very, very few places on the way home, even though it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
There's very, very few places you can pull in and actually get something on the way home. And I've went in there a few times, and every time I come out disappointed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you're fucking the Big Easy who goes in and just orders half the shop.
Yeah, but chocolate and fizzy drinks.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I remember. Now he's doing well now because he's looking after himself now, and he looks well, man. He's at losing all the weight, and he's running and he's flying it. But jazz, man, before that. Go in, breakfast roll, 3 bottles of Club Orange, 2 bottles of Coke, pack of Jaffa Cakes, 6-pack of fucking Monster Munch. He's an animal.
No, I couldn't eat chocolate before having breakfast now.
Not a hope, man.
No.
I used to work with a lad once upon a time. I think I might have told this on this podcast before. And every single day, he used to go down to the shop in Trim, and he'd get a breakfast roll with the works, a packet of Cadbury's chocolate fingers, put the chocolate fingers into the breakfast roll.
Oh, jeez.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That happened. Every day. Dirty animal. Yeah.
No, eat chef sauce with the beans, all right.
Yeah, but would it be hot this time at least?
No, it'd be always cold, man.
Chef,
cold.
yeah, that's fucked up, man. Yeah. Chef's brown sauce.
Oh, yeah.
No. Brown sauce with potato and mince now is nice.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Red sauce with the curry.
What?
Oh, jeez, you haven't tried that?
Red sauce on a curry?
Yeah, red sauce with curry, yeah.
What sort of curries you make, man? You need to put
Jesus.
red sauce in
You
with?
have chips, boiled rice, your chicken curry, and a bit of red sauce on the side, no?
Stop.
You dip a bit of curry, a bit of red sauce.
No, man, that's not a thing.
It absolutely is, man. Sure, it's no different than fucking mango chutney. Do you know what I'm saying?
Where does mango chutney come into this whole conversation?
Sure, look, man, it goes together like peas and carrots.
Cocaine and waffles.
No, definitely. I know that's going to throw up a whole different another debate now.
Yeah, my God. No, that's a good one. But where were we going with that?
Yeah, we went back to we said we were sitting in the van, and it was early enough.
It was early enough. Yeah.
Now we knew
well
the chances were, you know.
Yeah, because we were going to go somewhere first.
Yeah.
And then we made a big buy decision.
Yeah.
We said, we think we have permission out there. Well, you did. You said, no, I'm fairly sure. And I was kind of hinting. I was like, you know, are you sure? Or are we going to get ran out of there? And then we kind of were like, yeah, no, fuck it, we won't go.
No.
So we headed back to somewhere a bit closer to home.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we went to down beside me, so which is it's a tough gig to get one out on a normal early morning. But so we knew, but we were kind of just in the humour for a walk, and we said we'd do a little bit of a scout. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't for the want of track and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're doing a good. We're doing 8 kilometres.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and beautiful up there.
Oh man, it is.
It
absolutely is stunning. Stunning. Yeah. And
we went up into the middle of the wood, and on top of it there's a big big old tree, and we sat down there on the big bough, and probably not in the best spot. When we looked over our heads, the woodpeckers had bored.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Bored
heard a couple
holes.
as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
You looked
that
at-
was class.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little rock breaker going.
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
yeah. It was deadly, man. Yeah.
So
That's a stunning area up there. In fairness, you've everything there. It's like, well, and thank God it isn't. But if that was a nature walk, like that's nicer than anyone you'd see with
Absolutely,
quilt
man.
signs on it. It was lovely.
we come up there, and you can see like it's obviously half foliage now. There's green shoots and trees and stuff like that. And like that, the sounds and the birds, and you can see the track, you can see the badgers where they were rooting, and no, it's always, you'll always see something. And then we had it was actually we had a good old chat, which we haven't done in a while.
No.
It's funny enough, one of the things, I know we keep going back to it, but especially for lads, I think very important, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because only
yeah.
like we could meet here, but we're always going somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? Or doing something. You're always busy.
Yeah.
Either taking something off me to work on, or
Yeah.
I'm grabbing something back off you, or we're doing something with the podcast.
Yeah.
But there's very little times that you get all that gone that you can, do what we did. The only thing I would miss was an old flask of tea or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, honest to God.
Do you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it was cool. Yeah, we had a bit of a chat
was.
and then packed up and kind of did the circle.
Yeah, it's a good old walk. Yeah, but it's lovely, man. Absolutely. When you're going, and like loads of track, like, and promising. And the cool thing about that area is, I suppose it's relevant probably to a lot of areas, but like, right, you could say, right, the chance of coming across one would be low, but not zero.
No,
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
the thing.
And that's what always keeps us going, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think you can take that with any bit of hunting. Like, the chances could be low, but they're never going to be zero. Do you know what I mean?
We'd actually seen something just moving in the bushes just up ahead.
Yeah.
When we were coming in through one part of it.
Yeah.
And remember, you threw up the scope.
Yeah.
And it turned out that a hare had moved and just had kind of turned its arse.
Yeah,
to
it
get
was
a bit of
deadly.
sunlight.
I was just sunning itself.
Yeah.
That was deadly. We sat there watching him for probably 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, just sitting there, and every so often just the eyes closing as if he was about to doze off.
So the heat was the sun was just kind of trickling through. It was like as if it was like a little magnifying glass, wasn't it, coming down and warming his ass? You know?
Honest to God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was absolutely, he was in his, having the time of his life. Yeah, it was
I
unreal.
often think, like that's phenomenal. Like, it's obviously there's loads of them up, and we've seen a good few rabbits and hares, which is brilliant to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that, I just think it's always one of them things. Every time we go hunting, you always see something cool.
Yeah.
you know.
I know it was deadly, man. Yeah, the woodpecker holes I thought that was the highlight for me. That was class, and then to hear them at it was deadly.
It's deadly.
Absolutely class. Yeah.
So we loaded up then, and we came home. Then I think we wrapped it up there for the day. We
wrapped it up there for the day.
threw the deer in the cold room
We did.
packed her up and decided we'd meet the following morning. I think.
Morning for a bit of fishing, lad. Yeah. We're just after doing a bit. We just had to do a bit of pike fishing. You were obviously mad to get to your pike and stuff.
Yeah.
But we were rushing. We only had a couple of hours too. And
Yeah.
we decided we'd do a bit of dead baiting, but it didn't. No.
Didn't get in.
No.
Funny if there was something jumping. Remember? At one stage down.
Yeah.
Something substantial enough.
When you left and you were going back, when I was coming back up along it, and a merciful something jumped probably halfway back up to where we came in. So I don't know, on the canal, is that, I don't know what that is. Is that fish jumping for flies? Is it, I don't know what it is. Honestly, I'm not 100%
But it's
sure.
a substantial. It wasn't a small splash now.
No.
Something I don't know. Obviously, like I'm.
Like there's 20, there's over 20 pound pike on that stretch of that canal. Like that's have been caught. Like so there is some monsters on it. Like and that's what's cool. It's like you go, what's the chances? Maybe not great, but it's never zero. Like
that's what kind of keeps me. Funny enough, I love the type. When you go up to Wicklow and there's a good chance of getting a deer. Do you know what I'm saying? The percentages are a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And especially in certain areas they're higher. But like, and that's cool. So you can go up and it's like going shopping for the meat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure,
It's cool.
Yeah.
But then I also enjoy the real stalking. The bit of tortures, hardship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You against nature, all that kind of stuff, and knowing that you have to go up there 20 times.
Yeah.
To maybe get a glance at one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
what interests me. So
yeah,
you're the same, but like I think that's the cool thing because that's when you're really learning. I think where you have to use your your wit, the wind. You have to really use it. You know what I'm saying?
You do, absolutely, yeah. Especially as we said earlier on, especially with Sika, man, they're just a different animal altogether.
Yeah.
It was interesting, just when you were saying that there, that's why I think if someone's asked me, like, the rut, that's what I love most about the rut. It's the noise. I love, and some of my most enjoyable memories of this season so far was going up to that spot we were at the weekend and our last weekend, and hiking up to a spot and then sitting it out. I enjoy that, man. And glassing, because the stuff you see you don't normally see, because you're just sitting there. And, you know, it's class, man. And then when you hear the roars and you're like, he's going to appear from somewhere. Where is this fella going to step out from, you know? I love that.
It's prehistoric, isn't it? We said it there with Sarah. It's just a kickback, you know, to these. And I think it's really cool to know that every one of these Sika is all going back to...
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Isn't it mental?
Mental, yeah. Mental.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely mental, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Really, really cool.
It is, man. It is, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, and that kind of wound up. But that was a deadly. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the next couple of weeks we'll probably try and get out for another day or two.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, no, definitely, yeah, no, for sure, man. I definitely want to get out. Not necessarily that I could do with some more meat, but yeah, no, I do. I definitely want to get out again for sure, man. Yeah,
and definitely a bit of fishing now. We need to do a bit of fishing.
Yeah, definitely. I was talking to Big Mac, and I said to him about the boat. So yeah, he's going to get that done over the next little while, get her patched up and get her out. And yeah, man, she'll be good. Old crack. We'll get out for a bit of trout fishing now as well. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look at any kind of fishing, man. And then we've obviously the big fishing trip coming up.
Can't wait for that. Cannot wait for that. Swear
That's
to God.
coming hard and fast.
Yeah, I cannot wait. What day are we going? So is it the 18th?
It's the 18th, I think, of April. Yeah.
Yeah. Or around that time, anyway. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'll be great. Absolutely. No, May. No, May.
It's May, is it?
Yeah, sure, we're April now.
Oh, yes, then it's the 15th of May.
15th of May, is it? Happy days, yeah.
15th of May,
yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
No, we'll start building up to that now, and we'll have a nice crew going.
Yeah, savage crew going, yeah.
Myself, yourself, Robert, Stevie, Jack, and Big Mac.
Big Mac. We're going to do a bit of ceviche on the boat, are we?
I hope so. I haven't talked to Jack now, but
yep.
We're not bringing it around just for your...
It's just for your looks.
Devilishly good looks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that'd be nice, man. What way are we doing it? Did you talk to the boys? Are we going to... What are you thinking? Are we going to do it like last year? Are we going?
I don't know. I haven't. I just think we should probably play it by ear in terms of the weather.
Yeah, weather will play a big part. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
If it's cool and
it's calm.
If Jack gets out his knives, and does a little bit of grub on the boat,
I'd definitely I'd either bring food with me or I would definitely. You need food, man. I think that's why. It was getting to the stage I was nearly puking like the last. So I was so close to puking, man. It was unreal.
Yeah, Stevie White was well kid out, man. So he brought a few old snacks and stuff. I borrowed a couple of them there at one stage.
Yeah,
they were going around, but like that's it's kind of hard, man. You're baiting with fucking mackerel,
I know stinky hands, never know. And then I got to the stage like where if we had been not like when you're moving your grand, it's when you're stopped. I'd say 10 more minutes, man. I wouldn't last 10 more minutes. I was 100% going to puke.
Oh, just definitely. How many hours was that?
That was way too many. Like we were on that boat at 8 o'clock, and that was 3 o'clock in the day now.
Yeah, so 10 past 3 we're just saying it this year.
Yeah.
Have to get a video you puking, man.
Not a hope, man, no.
Oh, jeez, let me come on. I hope they'll see us rough now. Get it out. Definitely. The camera will be out that day.
12 o'clock, straight back to Galway, and a heap of pints. That'll suit me grand.
We get a little tugboat along with us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tip her on there now.
Dude.
Yeah. Come out, man. If the water's as rough as last time, I won't be going on any smaller.
That wasn't rough.
Well, it wasn't rough, man. It threw your man off his seat and turned everything upside down, including fish and everything. Would you stop?
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, we did. Or I could see the blood drain out your face there.
You didn't see that. You were holding on to the Jesus strap.
You were holding on to the fucking rosary easier. I will give you. You stop. No, it's good crack, good old crack. No, so that's all coming up, man. It'll be good old crack.
Yeah. No, we've a few things to look forward to. So thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks to Sarah for coming on. I enjoyed that, and I hope you all enjoyed that. Anyone that doesn't follow us, we've loads of followers now, but sure, look, what's a few more? No, jump onto our social media. Tell your friends about us. Jump onto social media there. Give us a like. I can't reiterate that enough. If you can give us a like and give us a rating on Spotify, the more people that like it, rate it, the more it gets shared around, the more listenerships we get out, the more listenerships we get, the more we can churn them out and stuff like that, you know.
It all helps. Thank you very much, lads.
It all helps. Thanks a million. And all our paid subscribers and all that again.
Huge thanks.
We wouldn't
honoured,
be
blessed.
Yeah, we wouldn't be doing
humbled.
This without you. Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. And Shane, everybody enjoy your weekend.
Stay safe and stay hunting.
Over now. Take it easy.